Hello and welcome to Church at Home with Rachael for Monday, the 13th of March. I hope you're having a great day. I'm going to invite you to check out America's Got Talent from the 15th of December of 2022. And I'll write that down in the comments below. And the work of a beautiful young girl named Amanda, I think her name is Amanda Mammana. Please forgive me if I have mispronounced that. I came across this the other day. I don't know whether somebody shared it with me or shared something and then I kept watching and it popped up in the way YouTube rabbit holes work. But it was, I never watched America's Got Talent. Howie Mandel's on there. He's Canadian, so that's about the only draw for me. Those sort of variety shows that they used to have in the 70s. It was very cool when I was 6. Not so cool for me now. I just don't have time. However, I was amazed because I was watching this young woman and watching Simon Cowell and all the people on the panel kind of looking like, well, what's going on? Because they asked her what her name was and what she was going to do. And she didn't speak and she didn't speak and she didn't speak. And then when she did, she stuttered. And it was a different kind of stuttering. I hadn't heard it before. It was like there was one particular syllable she would use over and over and then she'd be able to spit it out. And when she did speak, she said she was going to sing a song, an original song that she wrote. And she's maybe early teens, I think. If she was 16, I think she was younger than that. But a song she wrote about how difficult her life was as a stutterer, but how beautiful it could be and how she could overcome that. Because she found that when she sang, she didn't stutter. And so she played guitar and she sang her own song. And I really encourage you to look it up and give it a watch. She was absolutely beautiful. It was beautiful. But what I was really astounded by was the ability and the desire of someone to take a look at the life they have, to look at the gifts they have and the things that maybe don't feel like gifts, and their ability to do something, to have the courage to do something about it. Not to go out and to change themselves, not to go out and try to learn how to not have a stutter. But even though she had a stutter, she learned a way around it. And I think part of the power of her performance was the stutter, was the amount of work and courage it took for her to get up on that stage and to speak and explain who she was, all those things she knew she would have to do before she was able to show her true talent, which was to sing. And I would argue that her true talent, yes, she has a gift of music, but her true talent, I think, is in the courage it took for her to be able to get up in front of people and to speak, when speaking is the very thing that is the hardest thing for her to do. And I wonder how many times in our lives do we face that? A lot of us really, we maybe don't have a stutter, or we don't have something that's that pronounced that is so obvious, but how many people really do? If we were to turn them inside out and everybody could see their foibles and their fears, how many of us have something that is so terrifying and debilitating within us that it takes every ounce of courage and fortitude we have to be able to get to stand up and just go about life? Because, I don't hate. It's a strong word. I am this close to being terrified of public speaking. And yet I do it. And I think I'm okay at it. And I don't worry about it so much. I think that I don't worry about it so much. But then there comes times when certain circumstances paralyze me. I can do this if I have to, and because I've been doing this, I'm much better at being able to fill in for other things. If I'm in a meeting or something, or we're doing something and we've got some dead space, I can get up there and I can ham it up a little bit. I can talk about things off the top of my head. Years ago, I went to take a Toastmasters course. I didn't know that's what it was. I thought it was just public speaking. And the very first night they said you had to pull a piece of paper out of a hat and it had a word on it. You had to talk about that word for 1 full minute. And I got the word sauce. I spoke for about 15 seconds and I panicked. I couldn't do it. What I didn't realize is I could talk about sauce. I could say my word is sauce, but I'm going to talk to you about hockey. because the whole goal was that we would learn to get comfortable speaking in public. We didn't have to focus on that one thing. But I didn't realize that. I never went back. I don't like quitting anything, but I quit that course. I don't even think I tried to get my money back for it. I just couldn't do it. I was terrified. That was before I went to seminary. Since then, like that was like 26 or 27 years ago. Since then, I've gotten, I do this fairly often, and I have to get up and talk off the top of my head. But there are times, I don't worry about it, but there are times I am absolutely petrified of it. And I don't like to admit this, but we had a clergy conference a couple weeks ago. We had anti-racism training, but we had worship throughout, and I was invited to lead evening prayer. We have a book. We have a prayer book that has evening prayer in it. There's a few things you can do this or you can do this. I panicked. I didn't even have to do the readings. I didn't have to do music, and I didn't have to even do the prayers of the people. All I had to do was lead evening prayer, and I worried about that for a week because I would be doing this in front of strangers. Because of COVID and moving in when I did to this diocese, I hadn't really had any chances to get to know my colleagues, and I would be for the first time in a residential setting with other priests. And to be quite honest, we can be pretty hard on ourselves. And I was terrified that I would screw up. Isn't that ridiculous? The very place where you're with people whose job it is to pronounce forgiveness, and you're terrified that you're going to screw up and make an ass of yourself, and they're not going to forgive you. Like, get over it. And you know what? I did fine until the end when I dismissed everybody and forgot that we had another hymn. So, and then I was like, turned purple. I get really red and purple when I'm embarrassed. And you know what? It's okay. Nobody cared. And I have to realize that where I can get over the stutter in my life is in those situations where I'm not the only one who knows how to do this. Because I get worried about, well, everybody else knows how to do it, and they probably do it better than I do. And then you go down that rabbit hole of self-doubt. For me, that's my stutter. I need to get over that because I do know that I can do this. And I just have to remember that I can do this when I'm in that situation. The way this young girl was able to realize that she can get through this because then she can sing. And when she sings, we're going to forget about the stutter because she has a message to share with the world, and it can come out. And in fact, it was a message about the very thing that was trying to stop her from sharing the message. So I want to encourage you as you go about your day to think about those ways in your life, those things in your life that terrify you, that hold you back or threaten to hold you back. And then figure out ways, I'm going to cough in a second here, so go quick. Figure out ways that you can get over that. Or if you already do, if you live and work and move in a way that you have to get over those terrifying things already to just survive, give yourself a pat on the back. You deserve it because we can all do that. And I recommend you watch out for this video. Have a great day. God bless. I'll see you tomorrow for Church at Home with Rachael. I'm not choking. Bye.